Alright, y'all, we're back here. This is a video about my experiences with going through a spiritual awakening. Now, I heard from this one YouTube video that talks about this subject that sometimes, if I remember this right, I don't know if she said sometimes or all the times or whatever she said, how often it happens, but it can happen to where when you're about to go through a spiritual awakening, God will use something that will get to you the most. And so that's what happened with me. And so let me take a deep breath right here, right now. I go to Colorado just after they legalize recreational pot. And so this one lady at the time was 71 years old, and I was 29 years old. She led me to believe that she would help me grow and sell pot. She led me to believe we would get married. And then she just sabotaged everything. She just used me. Once she figured that I didn't have anything else to offer, then she just tossed me aside, tossed me in the trash like a disposable razor, or just tossed me in the trash like a piece of trash. And it was ever since then. For a few years, I carried a chip on my shoulder for the longest time. And so I thought that she was sent by these people known as the Rothschilds or the money changers. I thought that they sent that 71-year-old lady in my path to fuck my life up. So I went on this website, topics.com, TOPIX.com, which you could say anything you want on there. If your comments are too vulgar, though, they might take down those individual comments. But as far as I know, that website got taken down. But I was on topics.com, and what happened is that I exposed Alex Jones from Infowars.com for hiding the Rothschilds behind general titles like Big Brother. And it was the following day he made a news article directed towards me without saying my name. Big Brother is watching you through the scope of a sniper rifle. Now, as I knew the Rothschilds and Alex Jones were on to me and I got their attention, I figured to myself, well, okay, if they wanted to, they could probably kill me right now if they wanted to. So I might as well not show any fear, and I might as well not back down now. Now, I heard from 3 different sources that your imagination can bring about certain circumstances. So it was after he fired that news article directed towards me, I said on topics right back to Alex Jones, oh yeah, I imagine myself as a little white dove being placed inside a crate that says fragile on it, that's being placed in between the hands of Jesus, and me and him are getting on a voyage, taking a trip to where we want to go. And I also imagine all my other positive spiritual helpers coming with us as well. Okay, so now there's a book called Do Less, Achieve More, which talks about a superior rain man that could make it rain when no other ones could. He was asked how he accomplished that. He said that he did nothing but sit in a tent for, 7 or 8 days and make everything in harmony with God. I'm assuming that was by meditation. I do it by word of mouth and by making comments over the internet, on YouTube videos, etc. And so right when I start to rise to the occasion in this info war, it was like all the spiritual helpers I called upon answered my prayer with overwhelming support, aerial and ground support. So it was like the following day, I was walking, and mind you, it starts to rain like cats and dogs around this time. And before that time, it hadn't really hardly rained at all, if at all. And all of a sudden it's raining cats and dogs, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's a chain link fence along the sidewalk, and on the other side of the fence is a dove. Although it's not a white dove, it's still a dove nonetheless. It's a turtle dove. And I keep on walking, and it starts to rain more and more and more consistently. Like every day after that, it continued to rain. And it seemed like most of the places I traveled for a while, there was like dark clouds, dark rainy clouds hanging over my head. And so that was in Fort Collins, Colorado. And then I went from there to Denver, took the city bus from there to Boulder. Okay, and on city buses, you can ask for, at least from my experience, the ones I dealt with, you can ask for something called transfer tickets. Okay, so I get to Boulder, right? And between Boulder and Nederland, that's a very easy spot to catch a ride while you're hitchhiking. And it's getting late at night, and right where that road starts to go up the mountains to that next significant plateau known as Nederland, the beginning of the foothills is usually where people try to catch rides hitchhiking. And so I kind of tried to hitchhike a little bit, and then I was like, well, I don't know, I could possibly catch the bus, and I could possibly catch the city bus and just ride the city bus up to the town of Nederland. And I'm debating in my mind, I'm going back and forth in my mind, whether or not I want to hitchhike from Boulder to Nederland, or if I want to take the city bus. Okay, now get this. Three things happen all at once. I walk up to the bus stop because I decided in my mind that I'll just take the city bus after all. And three things happen at once. The city bus just pulls up to the bus stop. My transfer ticket just expires at 10:50. That's what time it is. It says 10:50 p.m. on my Virgin prepaid cell phone, and And plus, when I get on to the city bus, it says at the top front, on the inside of the bus, the top front of the bus, 10:50 p.m. So 3 things happen. The bus pulls up, my transfer ticket expires. All this happens at 10:50 p.m. Now this is the thing here about this, because I knew there was something to that, but I didn't know where to go to find out what I was, to learn about what I was going through. And so I'm in Netherlands, and some hippie dude tells me about this place, this thing called the Rainbow Gathering. And well, before that happens, I'm at a man-made spring, and all of a sudden this animal approaches me out of nowhere, which I don't think that any animal has ever approached me, unless it was like a dog or a cat. But any other animal, I don't think I can ever recall any other animal approaching me. This was an airborne animal, and a bird and an animal that I'd never seen before. Now, even though I already had unusual encounters with animals prior to this encounter, I was not entirely sure if I was experiencing these things I once had a vague understanding about, called animal spirit guides, until this bird flies like right at me. I'm by this man-made spring there in Netherlands, in the Roosevelt National Park or National Forest. I think it's called the Roosevelt National Forest. And I kid you not, man, this bird I'd never seen before up until that time. It's the hummingbird. And I kid you not, it plops about 3 to 5 feet away from my feet. And then after a few moments, it takes off straight up into the air. And it's all darting from left to right, to left to right. Maybe not exact, and maybe not in that exact pattern, but somewhere along those lines, it was darting back and forth, left to right. And looking back on that scenario, I believe it was trying to get my attention. And so, anyways, I go from there back to Denver, catch an Amtrak train from Denver to Cincinnati, Ohio. I stow away on the Amtrak train from Cincinnati and get kicked off in southern Indiana. I hitchhike from southern Indiana all the way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I'm just pretty much passing the time until I got paid around the 3rd of the month, as I usually do with my Social Security disability check. And so as soon as I got paid, I spent $600 roughly on a plane ticket to get from Fort Wayne, Indiana to Missoula, Montana, to get to the Rainbow Gathering, because somebody in Colorado told me about that. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but so I get to the Rainbow Gathering, and we'll continue this with, this is part 1. We'll continue the rest of this with part 2 of my experiences going through a spiritual awakening. This is part 1. Next will be part 2. And I don't know how many parts there will be, but there will probably be a fair share of them. Till next time, thanks for now. Bye for now. Bye.